everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. In the last one, we had a lot of story happen, though we actually did not spend much time in the game. So in the last episode, another spaceship crash lands. And it is full of basically like soldiers. So we are, I guess, maybe under arrest, but also they're stuck with us because their ship's broken too. And they can't go anywhere. So we are now in a much larger colony and there are new people to talk to. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are. We are no longer starving. This is the Helio colony. We have new people. Also new areas. So let's talk to this guy. This new boy from the heliosphere is a couple years older than you. He's very handsome, and the missing arm gives him a heroic battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action, even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling around the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. He sees you staring and gives you a curt nod. My name is Vase, Lieutenant Oliviacious? He says, considering you with a glint of challenge in his eye, and you are? How do you introduce yourself? I'm an explorer. His expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says, with the air of a boy who is hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Heather. I hear it's been a tough couple years for the colony. Lucky thing our heliopause came just in time, he continues. Don't worry, we have some of the best soldiers. The very best. We'll keep the colony safe. Are you one of those best soldiers? Flirt. We trained as a team. But, Face says, then clears his throat, yes, I've won more than my share of zero-G judo matches and virtual riflery tournaments. Even competing against adults, he adds. Being planet-side is totally different. You tell Vase that firing a virtual gun is nothing compared to running for your life through the jungle while a wild Unisaur hunts you down. A Unisaur, Vase says, leaning forward a little. His eyebrows raise. Did you actually say something to interest him? That sounds like a fun sport. I'd like to try it sometime. Okay. This is a new one as well. You've seen Nomi Nomi around since the heliopause landed. They're around your age and barely 1.5 meters tall, only coming up to your shoulder. You've never seen anyone dress as strangely as they do. Hi, their voice is high-pitched and quick. I'm Nomi Nomi. It's short for nomination. They do a little twirl and bow. You introduce yourself and ask about their outfit. Oh, this whole thing? I designed it myself. A Nomi Nomi original, based on the outfit Lavandula Starlifter wears in the 3rd season of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform, when she has to work undercover as the lead singer of an idol group. They stick their leg out. Only I changed the bottom part, and of course I had to wear my gaming gauntlets. I call them gaming gauntlets, but they're really EnviroSuit gloves that I modded so I could play holo games through them. Do you like games? My faves are Laser Fable and Dig Dig Digger Dog. Laser Fable is so much more fun now that we could play outside with room to run around. What kind of holo games do Strato kids like to play? Nomi Nomi stops to catch their breath, winding after their extended outburst. Challenge them to a game. Ooh, combat challenge. Do I have that? I probably don't have the cards. You're on! Nomi Nomi helps you install it on your holopalm and explains the rules. Laser Fable is an augmented reality game where you bounce hologram lasers off real objects nearby. It's speed-based, so you're running around and bumping into each other, and there are extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. Okay. No. Oh. Let's do 2, 2, and 2. Oh, I did not. Oh, crap. Did I do that? I think I did. I accidentally did the wrong thing. Oh, I don't want a -1 to check that. Or... I would rather flip those, though. Okay, we're not gonna win. Okay. Oh, see, I hate that. Why do I have these physical cards with -1 to challenge it, to physical? I mean, I suppose it would still give me 4. Oh, we actually won, but just barely. We do need to get rid of some of those other cards. Perhaps we need to rest even when we don't need to. Right on, sister. Nami gives you a high five, then with a couple quick flicks on their gauntlet gives you kudos for winning. They explain this is how they always play Laser Fable with the kids from Heliosphere. Except they mostly don't want to play anymore. They say they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex. He's still cool. Okay. Okay, so we've got this guy. The colony's full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting after growing up in a closed spaceship. You never expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. You bump straight into one of those new people while you're jogging through the colony. Oof, he laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off you and giving you a wide-fanged smile. Hey, it's one of the kids from the Heliopause. You think his name is Rex. Hey, what's up? You play it cool, give him a little nod. You notice he's wiggling his dog ears. They can really move independently. Pleased to meet you, he says. I'm Rex. Let me flirt. It's so weird. I don't want to. It's so weird. We just met the dude. Rex puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? I thought I might apply for a job there. I'll take you there. You walk him over to command. Everything's moved around since the Heliopause landed, but the construction yard is still in command where it always was. At the entrance, you meet Mars, filing her nails and looking like she's waiting for somebody. Why, hello, cutie, she says to Rex. Where did you come from? He looks her up and down and grins. I'm just an angel who fell from the sky, darling. You try not to gag as the two of them flirt. You give a loud ahem and point Rex towards the construction yard. He looks back at Mars over his shoulder and winks as he leaves. Okay, I think there are more people. There's Des. I guess we could talk to... I thought there was one more person, but maybe there's not. Can I go up the stairs? I thought there was more, but I guess there's not. However, we'll talk to our dad because he's also got bubbles. Even though it hurts, you find yourself wandering over to geoponics. It feels not good to be here. In the place your mom loved and ultimately gave her life to, but not good either. It feels like when you have a bruise and you can't stop yourself from pushing on it because the pain reminds you the injury is real. Like your mom dying is this huge invisible wound, and poking at it forces you to feel something instead of just being numb. Your dad is taking time off work. Your parents worked double and triple shifts during the growing season this year, and now that it's over, it just feels so cruel. When people work hard, they should be able to look back on what they did and feel proud. Instead, there's just this huge gap where your mom should be. You find your dad sitting in your mom's personal garden. It miraculously started to grow again, despite being trampled flat during the last attack, and neglected during the famine before that. Still, various Vertumnan flowers are starting to sprout, as well as hardier earth ones like dandelions. Your dad looks up and musters a smile. He pats the bench beside you. Let's sit quietly. Your dad is good at sitting in silence. He holds your hand and you sit together, watching the bugs flit around in the garden. Eventually, he starts to hum quietly. You recognize the song, an old favorite of theirs, one they used to play after dinner when they would sit and talk for hours about the future they envisioned on Vertumna. You remember sitting at their feet and playing with your blocks, letting their weird adult words wash over you. They had so many plans. You think about your mom and how much she sacrificed for the future she'll never see. Your dad puts an arm around your shoulders, and you sit like that for a long, long while. Nah, looks like there's still more with him. Let's kind of check. Anything else? I do kind of want to see if we can exit the colony, though I wonder if it's still the same stuff as before. I see a thing right there, but that may not be something we can look at. All right, let's go talk to Dad. He still has some stuff. We might want to check out what everyone else has to say, even though they don't have bubbles. Like every pollen season, your dad gets the shimmer. The pollen is bad this year. Thick, heavy clouds of pink. Even your eyes are a little itchy. And your dad's not the only colonist spending the week in bed. You can hear other people sneezing as you walk through the quarters, bringing him hot trippet soup. Thanks, kiddo, your dad rasps. At least he's sitting up in bed now. Your mom never got sick, not ever, your dad reminisces. I'm not sure she missed a day of work from the day we landed until the day she... He stops and sighs. I miss your mom. I wish Instance would find a cure already, he grumbles, his hand shaking as he lifts his spoon. 3 years and all she can suggest is bed rest and fluids. What good is all her researching if it can't fix my headache? Your dad must be feeling really sick. He never complains about stuff. You check his temperature with your hollow palm, then dim the lights and bring him a cold pack for his forehead. He has a crust of glittery pink gunk around his lips, looking cracked and gross, so you wipe it away. The glitter is just everywhere on him, like it's coming right out of his pores. He looks iridescent in the murky light filtering through the pollen outside. Hey, do you mind opening the window a little for some fresh air? Smells like a sick person in here, he grumbles, pushing away his soup and rolling over. No, that's how you get pollen. The pollen might already be everywhere already, but there's no sense in making it worse. You pretend to crack the window for him, and by the time you look over, he's asleep again. The worst of the pollen fog subsides in a few days, and your dad starts to look a little better. He gets back to work, which is good because there's a lot to do in order to rebuild the colony and get the Heliopause's hydroponics up and running. You're still sweeping glittering dust out of your quarters a week later. That stuff gets everywhere. Okay. So that was the glittery stuff. Nothing. Anything else new we can do? So this is geoponics. Let's talk to our friends. Dis looks more skittery than usual, looking around at the new defenses. There's too many people here now, he mutters. Too much noise, too many mouths to feed. Whatever's out there is not going to be happy with us. Okay. So it's nothing specific, just commentary. Mars surveys the construction work on the new walls with a critical eye. This is great and all, she says. But did you notice we have, like, a total power vacuum at the top here? Like, who's in charge? The council are just a bunch of scared adults like everyone else. If the Helio people wanted, they could control this colony. Mars clenches her fist. The colony should be under colony governance. Not some outsider. No, we weren't going to give her anything. I don't think it was her birthday. It might be. Let's look. It is I don't believe anyone was pollen. She was dust. Cal was dust. Tangent was wet. Marge was early wet. What we don't know is any of these new people and their birthdays. Okay. I mean, I could give her something. Nem fiddles with her personal defense plas cutter. Never thought I'd actually be using one of these, she says quietly. Guess we all gotta be ready to defend ourselves now. Okay. Maybe we could give her something if we've got something. Hey, so I heard you guys have a feast next month, Nami says, tilting their head to the side. And there's competitions? What kind of competitions? Because, like, everyone in the Helio learned to do soldiery stuff, but other than that, I'm not really good at anything. Well, except video games. Nami smiles proudly. Okay, but I'm really good at video games, they say. Oh, and drawing. I guess I put all my skill points into dexterity. Wait, do you get that joke? Do you guys have role-playing games here? Do you think we could have an art contest at your festival? What do we want to give her? How about a flower? Nami looks a little surprised. You brought me a gift, they exclaim. Like, just because? OMG, Heather, thank you. Okay, so it's not her birthday. You spot Cal sitting in the dirt, picking sullenly at the grass. He's weaving it together into a bracelet. Sometimes it helps if I'm doing something with my hands, he says quietly. If I start to feel scared or upset, I just take a deep breath and try to reconnect with the planet. Okay. Tange. Vertumnalia? Oh no, Tange says, shaking her head. I'm far too busy for something as childish as a science fair. Is not what I do every day in the lab enough proof of my intellect? Okay. I did forget about we have that whole thing, don't we? I would like to go out. Oh, so this is just the garrison. The Helios has replaced the old garrison dojo with a huge underground bunker. It's much larger and better supplied, and abuzz with activity, soldiers drilling, weapons being cleaned and inventoried, and animals herded into cages for study. You can't believe how many soldiers are down here. It must be the safest place on the planet. I'm not sure I want to do that yet. We could give him something. So, what do you do for fun here, Vase says, looking around. It's a little backwater, isn't it? A pokey little colony on the ass end of the wormhole? I don't expect much. Do you play cards, darts? No? He sighs. Let's give him a mushlog. Vase gives you a curt nod and tosses your gift on a nearby table. Thanks. Okay. I'm trying to get out of the colony. How do I get out of the colony? Oh, over here. Okay. Mushlog. The valley, honestly, I don't know that we could do. We need to get rid of cards in order to do that, really. Because we have 0-point cards. Like this, these ones need to go, that needs to go. We need skills to be better because we need to be able to get cards talking to people. It's like this one right here now has to be 80. So let's see. And I think it must be that way. Perception is the only one that's close, I think. How do I... 79. That's 49. So we have nothing close to 80. 80 is like right in here, which means 100 must be the thing, but we're not close to 80 in most things. So we need to do this. Someone give me a card with perception. No, hers is persuasion, and we're not even close on that. What about these guys? No, they don't give me cards. He is combat biology. Because we need some better cards. Now, we do have to think about the fact, though, that We've only got a certain amount of time. Okay, toughness. Toughness might be the next one. And hers is reasoning, which isn't even close. But we could get one at 40. So maybe a couple of them are at 40. And this was what? Tutor children, reasoning, persuasion. We haven't done any of that. Oh, she does that stuff too. And that might be good. And what's life sciences? Let's do study and engineering because we'll get friendship with both of them. To further your engineering knowledge, you're taking a mini class with Chief Engineer Instance on the construction and maintenance of your holopalms. These devices are engineered biomuth crystals embedded into your palm when you start school. They use the heat and electric current of the human body to power themselves, to talk to each other, and connect to the HoloNet. Congruence's massive repository of information. You can barely remember a life before yours. Holopalms were commonplace by the time the Vertumna group first formed on Earth, and the square bismuth is grown in the lab, Instance explains. So the physical device itself isn't hard to maintain. The difficulty is in the display and touch interface. Instance opens her holopalm, displaying a visible projected screen floating above her palm. As chief engineer, she also has one of the fancier versions that combines with a pair of eyeglasses to superimpose a projection right onto what she sees. The interface relies on plasma voxel generators, which require extremely small components that are impossible to nanoprint. The material will have to be mined from Vertumna itself. Tange raises her hand. Is it possible to hack these devices, she asks. If the biological electrical interface is so thin, is it possible to hack the human body? In a way, we've already begun to hack the human body, Instance replies. What do you call gene tech? Everything the body does and is capable of depends on 4 nucleobases in different configurations. It's no different than congruence. Human and artificial intelligence are both built from a limited code and are transformed into more by the building. Your genetic enhancement, super hearing and sight, temperature regulation, increased resistance to fear, disease, and fatigue, all present in the human genome and unlocked by the power of science. The class splits into working groups. To explore installing modules onto your holopalm, you and Tangent are in a group together. She begins installing a mod that will let her scan inorganic materials and get a reading on their chemical compositions. Let's download our own mod. That might be fun. And we've got Engineering 15. Tange raises an eyebrow, impressed. What module do you choose? A nonogram game, something to help find lost objects. Oh, would that actually help me find objects, though? A radar speed gun, a bacteria sniffing. How about something for lost objects? Ding! A portion of Congruence's immense and miraculous intelligence will now be dedicated to making sure you never lose your canteen or your sunglasses. Isn't technology great? Let's do 2, 4, 4, 4, and 5. I don't like to lose a kudo, but okay. Alright, so it is mid-pollen. I think the Vertumnalia festival is later, after the pollen. I don't know that anyone has anything. I guess we could try to give gifts to see if it's someone's birthday. I wonder if anyone has birthdays in pollen. Okay, I don't see anything and I don't see bubbles. So I think we just have to like do things. But I guess we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. Again, not much happened, but we did get to meet all the new people and talk to everyone, kind of see what was up with all that. So yeah, that is going to be everything for this time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!